What's up, Rideshare Hub? This is John. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm talking about how I utilize Uber and Lyft to supplement my full-time income. I started doing Uber and Lyft about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years, because I work in the automotive industry, but what I do that's different than most people is I work on lifted trucks, lifted Jeeps, heavily modified cars, heavily modified vans, vehicles that go in excess of 200 miles per hour. So I develop the projects for how customers want to utilize their vehicle, whether that's off-road, whether that's faster, people spending anywhere from $5, $10, $15, $20 to $30,000. So it's a lot different than your normal automotive place. We're not just necessarily changing oil or doing your traditional type of service. I've done that for about 6.5 years. I've had other part-time jobs while working it just to supplement my income. But when I first started doing rideshare, it was because I was paying about $400 per month in health insurance, and I really just wanted to make up the difference of what that was costing me. So I was thinking if I could do that in 1 week or 1 month, that'd be awesome. And my first week doing rideshare, one of the days was a Saturday, and I was almost at that $300 mark. So I realized it was actually worthwhile for me to do this. In the automotive industry, for the most part, unless you're selling parts or owning the business, you really do have a capped out potential. There might be people that make more than me in it, which isn't a big deal. But rideshare people have no issue talking about how much they make. So full disclosure, where I work at, I make $20 per hour. And that's about, $800, $1,600, $3,200 before taxes, before health insurance. And I've had offers to do management at other, more service-based facilities, like, it was Midas. And it was actually a $13 per hour job with mandatory overtime, and you get extra money based off of sales. So you're giving your life away, pretty much knowing you're gonna work 60 to 70 hours working with problems only. Not working with people that want to spend their money. So, there is somewhat of a glass ceiling in the automotive industry, and to make money on my own time or, work for another job part-time, you're gonna have to work around their schedule, and it's really hard to do that. So with doing rideshare, I realized I could do it whenever I wanted. I can do it early in the morning. I was just emailing Dylan this morning at 5:40 in the morning. Why? Because I get up, make money, and make money that works on my time. As I started getting more developed into the rideshare game, I actually started with my truck, which is lifted truck, which people loved getting in. And probably 50% of the time, I would get tips using my truck just because people love it. And it was only available on the UberX platform. So I started rideshare in a truck. And then as rideshare progressed, I got a new car to me. And some people say, hey, don't ever buy a new vehicle, especially for rideshare. Some benefits to having a new vehicle. One, depending on how you do your taxes, you can actually write off that entire price. That might not be for everyone. I would definitely say get a used car at the end of the day. If you're a gig economy solopreneur, you might look at a new car as something that you can then rent out on Turo. For example, when you're done running it. I've rented my Focus on Turo. I've rented my F-150 on Turo. Turo's the Airbnb of car rental. So you can make money on that depreciating asset and utilize, this vehicle and the next vehicle to keep moving forward. You don't even have to put the nicest car on Turo. The number one car on Turo is a Prius. Number 2 is a Ford Focus, which is what we're in. Number 3 is a Yaris. So once I started getting more involved in the gig economy, I saw that there was so many opportunities to make money, with whether it's renting cars, whether it's delivering, food with, let's say, Postmates or Grubhub or Amazon or what it was Amazon. And even, on that note, there's a ton of money being made in Amazon. You can fit a lot of items in here. So, with my truck, with my car, I use them for the rideshare economy. I even have a third vehicle that has 240,000 miles on it that I use in rideshare. That vehicle literally cost me $1,500 in maintenance. I got it pretty much for free because it was toast. But if you know the right person, or if you're able to work on vehicles, it doesn't really matter what you drive. If you're going to be in the X platform, you don't have to have the nicest car. That vehicle's got 240,000 miles on it, and it makes money. You don't have to have the nicest things. People always say, my car died. Did you maintenance it? You know, it's just simple things like that. You can repair vehicles to keep making more money on there. So I've found that, you know, by utilizing the rideshare, the gig economy space, some weeks I don't have a problem making more money doing rideshare than I do at a full-time job. You know, that might include rental income. I've made over $1,000, you know, doing rideshare alone. Does that mean I was working early? Yes. Does it mean I was working late? Yes. Does that mean I was working the weekend? Yes. Do I do that every week? No. I've got other things going on. I want to take trips. I want to spend time with my family, my friends, my girlfriend, do whatever I want on my schedule. Some weeks it's 5 hours, some weeks it's 0. I've done as much as 40. So when people always put in group forums and group chats, you know, how much money can you make? If you know your market, if you're on multiple platforms, if you're thinking smarter, if you're not working harder, you can make as much as you want. I don't see a problem in Columbus, Ohio, where I drive, if I wanted to do this full time, how I couldn't make $1,500 or $2,000, because there's anything from handyman tasks that I do, hauling away trash, which can pay up to $140 just to get the job done. There is no reason that you can't make the money that you want to set out for yourself. You can complain about everything and say you're not making enough or this isn't working, but you need to think logistically, sophisticatedly, and be on top of the market. You need to be up early, you need to be out late, you need to be working smarter, you need to see other ways you can make money, you need to refer people, you need to be a people person. It all depends on the rides that you make, the personality that you have, and truthfully, yes, the car that you drive, like if you're X or XL. So if you want to become a full-time driver or learn more about driving, subscribe to the Rideshare Hub, because it's got some of the best content on YouTube. More creators and more people that are YouTubers are on this channel giving you tips. So don't miss out on that. Subscribe to this channel right now. Give it a huge thumbs up. And if you want to get more information about Ohio or how I make money in the rideshare gig economy and still have a full-time job, subscribe to Absolute Rideshare. This has been a great day. Till next time, guys. Peace.